Deep within an enchanted forest lay a kingdom of magic and wonder, a place where the ordinary laws of nature seemed to bend and twist into something extraordinary. Sunbeams danced upon emerald leaves, painting whimsical patterns on the forest floor, creating a mosaic of light and shadow that seemed to tell stories of old. Mystical creatures roamed freely, their laughter echoing through the ancient woods. These beings, both familiar and strange, added to the forest's enchantment, making it a place of endless discovery.
At the heart of this realm lived a kind-hearted princess named Snow White, whose presence brought a sense of peace and joy to all who encountered her. Her beauty was as radiant as the morning sun, her skin as pure as the driven snow, and her lips as red as the finest rose. She was a vision of grace and elegance, a living embodiment of the forest's magic. Snow White possessed a heart filled with kindness, drawing all creatures to her gentle nature. Birds would sing sweet melodies in her presence, and even the shyest of animals would come forth to bask in her warmth. She found joy in the company of woodland creatures, sharing her days with the flitting fairies and chattering squirrels. Each day was an adventure filled with laughter and the simple pleasures of nature.
One day, as Snow White strolled through the woods, she felt a sense of anticipation in the air, as if the forest itself was guiding her towards something special. A flock of bluebirds, their feathers shimmering like sapphires, led her to a charming cottage hidden among the trees. Their cheerful chirping seemed to beckon her forward. Curiosity twinkled in her eyes, and she cautiously approached, her gentle knock echoing through the silent clearing. The door creaked open slightly, inviting her to explore further. Peeking inside, Snow White discovered a cozy little cottage, though unusually messy. It was as if the inhabitants had left in a hurry, leaving behind a trail of clues for her to uncover. The cottage, despite its disarray, exuded a warmth that made her feel at home. Each dwarf was unique. Doc, the wisest, tinkered with contraptions. Grumpy, despite his name, had a heart of gold. Happy spread cheer with his infectious laughter. Sleepy, always yawning, dreamt of grand adventures. Bashful, shy and timid, expressed himself through beautiful paintings. Sneezy, prone to sudden fits of sneezes, possessed surprising strength. Dopey, the youngest and most mischievous, communicated through playful gestures.
The dwarfs, returning home from their day's work, were taken aback at the sight of me. I had tidied their messy cottage and prepared a delicious-smelling soup. Initially apprehensive, their hearts melted at my genuine kindness. They welcomed me with open arms, touched by my selfless gesture.
Moved by her plight, we offered her shelter and friendship.
Meanwhile, news of Snow White's escape reached the evil queen. Consuming jealousy twisted her heart.
The queen, obsessed with being the fairest in the land, saw Snow White as a threat.
Driven by envy, the evil queen concocted a wicked plan. She disguised herself as an old peddler woman, her heart as dark as the poison potion she brewed. A single poisoned apple became her weapon of choice.
The queen journeyed to the dwarf's cottage, her heart set on deceit. With a crooked smile and feigned kindness, the disguised queen offered Snow White the poisoned apple. Snow White, unsuspecting of the danger, accepted the apple. The dwarfs, returning home, witnessed the queen's act.
But it was too late.
Snow White, taking a bite of the poisoned apple, collapsed onto the floor. Despair engulfed the dwarfs.
They had grown to love Snow White like a sister.
The cottage, once filled with laughter, was shrouded in silence.
The dwarfs, heartbroken, prepared a coffin of crystal, placing Snow White within its delicate embrace.
They adorned her with flowers, their tears falling like dew upon her pale skin. As days turned into nights, a handsome prince stumbled upon the clearing.
He had traveled far and wide, his heart captivated by the stories.
He was drawn to the crystal coffin, mesmerized by Snow White's ethereal beauty.
Overcome with grief, he leaned down and kissed her.
The prince's kiss, filled with true love, broke the spell. The poisoned apple dislodged from Snow White's throat, and she awoke as if from a dream.
Color returned to her cheeks and her eyes sparkled with renewed life.
The dwarfs rejoiced, their sorrow transforming into immeasurable joy.
With the evil queen vanquished and Snow White revived, the forest was filled with jubilant celebrations.
With the evil queen vanquished and Snow White revived, the forest was filled with jubilant celebrations.
The prince, captivated by Snow White's spirit and kindness, asked for her hand in marriage.
Snow White, her heart filled with gratitude and affection for the prince, accepted his proposal.
The news spread throughout the kingdom, bringing joy to every corner.